Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
And we hope you're having a fantastic night because we've got a lot to cover tonight. Katie, what should people do if they want to join in the conversation tonight?
Just go to geekscorner.live and go in the chat. Tell us your thoughts and opinions. Say hi to each other. Say hi, buddy pals, or howdy.
And they should also celebrate. What is there to celebrate today? What is the holiday today?
Today is, what was it?
Embrace your
geekness Day.
According to the holiday website, like it's holidayinsights.com or something like that. Today is Embrace Your Geekness Day, which officially means that it's a great day to be a geek or to know a geek.
I know a geek.
How do you feel about this?
Good. I mean, I feel like we're embracing our geekness every Tuesday night. So I feel like we were very ahead on this holiday.
Every week is National Ice Cream Day, Bailey says too. That would be more comfortable, actually.
Should have had ice cream.
That's also a very good idea. That's always a good idea. And it's Sir Patrick Stewart's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Excellent reminder, Clocky. And what if it's both? Everybody wins.
Embrace your geeky ice cream day.
That is true. Other things you should do is if you are booking a Disney trip, go to our friends over at Mouseways Travel and book your next Disney trip with Matthew. You can do that at mouseways.com/dapsmagic. And not only will you get a magical experience, but you'll also help support Daps Magic and Geeks Corner. So everybody wins that way too, right?
Yes.
All right. Wins. Let's get right into the show. We're going to start off with information, or our thoughts really, about Black Widow, which had a record-breaking weekend as the largest opening since the pandemic.
Which is crazy.
And it made, from, I think, if I did the math right, like $60 million off of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
On the weekend, which is weird because they don't usually give you those numbers. And that was kind of cool. But we saw it on Thursday night. Is that right? Yes.
Wow, it's been a long week.
What did you think of this movie, Katie?
I really liked it. We were talking about it just before the show. We were talking about our rankings of Marvel movies.
Yes.
I would say that it's probably in my top 5 or my top 10 currently.
Talk about what's in front of it and behind it.
So I found out today how much I love the Captain America movies because my top 3 Marvel movies is just the Captain America trilogy. I did not realize that about myself, but when I sat down and thought about it, I went, huh, those are my 3 favorite Marvel movies. So that's up there.
So if it's top 5 and you've already got 3 of them taken, what else is going in the top 5?
I don't know what else is in the top 5, but I do this thing where sometimes when I see a movie, it automatically is like the best movie ever to me in my brain. And so I have to try and tell myself, no, it's not top 5. And then in a couple weeks, it might actually be top 5. I don't know. Does anyone else have that thing where their brain is just automatically like, this is no, not you? Okay.
I tend to be more critical when I first see a movie.
Oh no, when I first see a movie, I'm like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. Sometimes. We were also discussing it. I have certain Marvel movies I've only seen once, and that was kind of enough for me. The order is the first Avenger is first, the second is Civil War, and the third is Winter Soldier.
And then fourth.
I don't know what goes fourth.
So Black Widow is 5th, you're saying?
Probably, yeah.
So Black Widow is getting beat by an unnamed movie.
I don't, yeah.
That's not a very good...
No, it's that I have been rewatching. I'm watching through the MCU right now again, and I think I'm kind of replacing where things are. Iron Man 2, watched that today. That's at the bottom.
That's a movie.
That's a movie.
Yes. Okay, so let's talk about Black Widow.
Yeah.
Not all the other ones. What did you think about this, I guess, visit in the present to the past by Natasha Romanoff, but took place in the past that was present at the time that it took place? Looking
here,
into
there,
the past.
Everywhere. We're not going to talk any spoilers. Not that there really can be spoilers. I don't know. I feel kind of weird about prequel movies.
We all know how it ends.
We all know how it ends.
Yes.
But I I liked it for the character building it did. Okay. I really loved how they built Natasha's character. I just also felt like it was a little bit late because it's post Endgame.
So what did you think of the movie, though?
I loved it. I thought it was great. It's in my top 5. We just discussed this. I loved it. I thought it was great. Yelena is my favorite. Possibly one of my favorite MCU characters, like, period. Just because I really enjoyed her.
Yeah, she's very real. And
she was very much like a tap into what the audience is thinking.
Yeah,
kind of
she's
like that.
kind of that. I mean, she really was a breath of fresh air, because I feel like so many of the MCU characters, even when they're not perfect, they're kind of perfect.
They're also kind of like lofty.
Yes.
And kind of like this untouchable persona or what have you. The closest I think we have besides that is like Steve Lang.
Yeah.
As like a non-perfect kind of audience.
You mean Scott?
Scott, I'm so sorry.
I was so confused for a second.
Steve,
like I was going down the
Scott.
Captain America track, and I'm like, wait, Lane. Oh, that's an interesting combination. What if?
What if? Oh, what if Ant-Man got the shield?
You never know. That'd be pretty funny.
I'm so sorry that I said Steve.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think that he's a more human person than some of the other.
And honestly, people. Black Widow has been kind of more human, and she's been more flawed. And
I think that the further we get into her character in the MCU, the more she becomes a very real person.
Yeah.
But Yelena was my favorite. I honestly loved the entire family dynamic. I thought everybody, like all the characters.
Well, and
were awesome.
What's his name? Might be one of my new favorites. Alexia. Yeah. Is it Alexia? Is that his real name?
Yes.
He was one of my favorite. I guess he's a sidekick. Kind of a sidekick. I don't know.
Anti-hero.
Yes, but he was hilarious and ridiculous and like just a welcome. I think it didn't take itself too seriously for lots of it. And that was a good thing, because it was a really serious, like, this could have been a really dark and depressing movie.
If this had taken itself very seriously, it probably would have been one of the darkest Marvel movies.
I would say if he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Like, because you really needed that. And some of Yelena's lines too, but really, like, it was.
No, he was the most lighthearted character. Yeah, it feels very
and even though he was completely unrelatable, in many ways he was also very relatable, because he was so ridiculously flawed.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he's got superpowers and all of this stuff, but it was one of the most enjoyable things, I think. I really liked the villain in this.
Oh yeah.
He was completely despicable. He was like, he reminded me of, I think it was Fat Cat in Rescue Rangers. You don't remember that? Okay. We have a live audience tonight. And by live audience, I mean live audience member tonight. So we're moving back towards real world. I don't know.
We're not there yet.
That's why I'm looking to the left, is because I'm like, oh, I can ask. And if you're giggling, that's what Fat Cat. Thank you, Clocky. But he kind of reminded me of a really bad, like, person, Fat Cat, like up to the next level. And I really thought it was a great character, and it fit with everything else that was going on, and it had the gravitas of what he was doing, and it still fit into the world that's already been built. And so I thought that was really well played.
Yeah. The movie itself, I said this a lot, and it's not a bad thing that it reminds me of another one, but it reminds me a lot of Winter Soldier, like the movie itself. Some of the elements, some of the tone, but that's a good thing. Like, Winter Soldier is a very good Marvel movie.
It's one of my favorites.
There was a lot of things that I was like, this kind of evokes that feeling that Captain America, Winter Soldier gives you. So, I mean,
which makes a lot of sense.
It does. Also, like, Natasha is a very big part in that movie. Overall, great. I also went in with very low expectations, because we got a lot of hype for this movie for a really long time.
I actually think that was its biggest flaw, and that's not a flaw. It was just the fact that it got delayed so many times, and we saw so many different trailers and interviews and you name it. It because
they kept trying to build up the momentum
and
back
it's like,
up.
we think it's open. No, it's not. We think it's opening. No,
And
it's not.
this was a movie that a lot of fans already considered 5 to however many years too late. And then we got a date on it.
And then got bumped back even
getting
more.
Postponed.
It is interesting too, without getting into spoilers, but watch the movie and then go watch our video of, is it Avengers Assemble? Is that the title of the show?
Yeah.
At Avengers Campus. And that is interesting too, when you think about when everything was supposed to open, because this should have been open, 5 months before Avengers Campus.
Yes.
And it does change things a little bit once you've seen the movie.
100% does. I was like, thinking about things.
But I thought it was great. And I look forward to seeing it again. And I look forward to seeing the bonus features whenever they release.
Oh my gosh.
That's just going to be a blast.
I'm very excited for deleted scenes also.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying those. In fact, if you like those kinds of things, check out my review, because I just did the home entertainment review for Cruella this last week. So there was some interesting bonus features on that, and all of them solid. Which,
that's awesome.
I mean, bloopers, we all know what I stand on those. But other than that, everything was fantastic. Moving on over to Disneyland, we got to experience a soft opening of Jungle Cruise this week, which opens officially on Friday. And it's quite a bit different.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just go on record and say I really enjoyed it. And what did you think of it?
I mean, if you watched our vlog, which you should go watch our vlog after this is over.
On our YouTube channel.
It's on our YouTube channel, which is probably where you are right now. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. The jungle is kind of one of those attractions that I've loved for a really long time. So I was worried that things were going to feel like they were shoehorned in. Everything felt like it had been there forever. And that's the highest compliment I could give WDI, is that a lot of stuff didn't necessarily feel new and shiny to me. It was like, oh, this is just a part of the jungle we haven't seen before. So I'm a really big fan of it. I thought it was great. I think that it should have happened a long time ago. And I'm really glad that this was something that they made the decision to do.
Yeah, I think it was a very solid and respectful update. Yeah. All of the updates. It was surprising to me as we went through it and finished it, where I never had that moment of, oh, I missed this. It was like, oh, this is cool. This makes sense. Oh, this is good. And even though as in hindsight, as I've gone back and edited and posted the video and watched it again, I'm like, oh, that's where that was. That's where that was. It didn't feel like you lost anything. It felt like instead they added stuff. And I really actually think it added a lot to the storyline of Jungle Cruise. So it's not just a kind of sporadic, not necessarily connected series of scenes. Everything seemed to be a little bit more connected and make a little bit more sense, even though you're going on rivers around the world. But it did flow a lot quicker, nicer. I think the unsung hero to me of it wasn't even something that they really been publicizing nearly as much, but I love what they did with the hippo pond. And that's just not been something they've really been, playing up, I feel like a lot. But to me, that was one of the big wins. But the rhino scene was great. The end store,
the Trader Sam's gift shop.
Thank you. I thought that was cute. There wasn't anything where I was just like, oh man, it's not nearly as good. Like, you just didn't feel slighted.
I thought the queue was delightful, and we got to see all of the Jungle Cruise queue. We saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I think there's a lot of really fun details. And most importantly, because Mr. Naps knows this very well. Sometimes I can be the person that I'm like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What's that a reference to? And at no point did I feel like I was on the outside of an inside joke, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
At no point was I like, I don't feel welcome here because I don't understand what's going on. Everything felt very natural to me. And nothing felt like this is an inside joke that you don't understand. It just felt like natural parts of the queue and fun little Easter eggs if you do have that knowledge. So really loved it. I think the queue is really, really fun. Don't be frightened if it's an extended queue.
there's stuff
very
to look
tight,
at. And
but-
honestly, there's not a ton of changes in the queue.
No, but there's some fun stuff in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff in there. And I think even taking it further, there's no like insider, like you feel left out on the attraction either. Because, you know, there's some things that have been jokes around forever and they're funny if you know it. And if you didn't, you're like, I don't get why this is funny. And I think they just did a really nice job. And I think what we're seeing right now is just the beginning of it. Because I imagine like they're still getting to know the attraction and the new spiel and all of that stuff. And that's just going to get better with time.
Totally.
And I think that will be fun to see as well. And it just, everything works. Like, I think it's great. So it'll be fun to see how people react to it this weekend when it officially opens. And if you haven't and you're not going to go on it in person, go check out our video and then let us know in the comments here what you thought of the video over there. Also this week, Disneyland, was it last week, actually announced Halloween is returning to the Disneyland Resort. That means we will have the Haunted Mansion Holiday.
That's what it is. Hey-o.
We will be taking bets again on if we can get gingerbread at the end of it. I'm betting not, but I can always hope.
It'll be an internal bet, Bailey. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, well, you never know. She has fun seeing me suffer, I think. But yeah, so Haunted Mansion Holiday is coming back. Oogie Boogie Bash is back. Tickets went on sale for that today. And if you were in that wonderful online queue, bless you.
May the odds be ever in your favor if you're still in it.
I actually know some people that were texting me just before the show that were still waiting, I think, an hour ago. So hopefully things are working a little bit better. And you know what? These things happen. And
you just got to laugh.
Yeah. And the good thing is it happened to everybody. So it's like we're all in the same place together and we get to work our way through. But Halloween's coming. We will be covering the Halloween party. We'll definitely cover the 20th anniversary gingerbread house, which I'm sure will smell ridiculously good.
And then they won't give you
I will try to get a really good picture of it so we can go through and point out all of the 20 Easter eggs from the previous years.
Yes.
Which there is a diagram, but it's always cooler when it's the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll try to do that. Is anything in particular you're looking forward to? Like, I'm assuming they didn't announce this, but if it's still over at Disney California Adventure for Oogie Boogie Bash, my hunch is maybe we will get Halloween Screams back at Disneyland.
I mean, I hope.
That would be cool. Like, I always like that one.
I'm very, very excited that we are getting a parade. Like, I know it's a staple of Oogie Boogie Bash, but we haven't had a parade back at, we have cavalcades now at Disneyland. We have not had a parade back.
That story's not even up yet.
Very exciting, but there's video. So there. I'm very excited to see a parade. I'm very, very, very excited to see Cars Land at Halloween.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my favorite
That's
Halloween
always
things.
really fun.
Halloween is just one of my favorite holiday seasons. Like, I really love Christmas, but I think Halloween might be my favorite. So I'm just really happy to see like all the purple and orange things and green.
And a step back to what we're used to.
Yeah, it's going to be like this nice thing to see a Mickey pumpkin, to see the zombie car. Oh, I love that zombie car.
Zombie car.
Zombie car. It honks. It's scary.
Maybe for Halloween we'll make Caitie a zombie car video.
Maybe I should be a zombie car.
Maybe
for
with
Halloween.
a song. I feel like we could write a song for zombie car. We could have like a melodica.
No.
And a
melodica,
kazoo.
you know what? Actually, the melodica just made it very scary. So, Halloween, ookie spooky.
That's it.
Used a melodica.
Maybe
I'm scared now.
I don't know. We can come up with some random things. We have jingle bells over there.
That's not Halloween.
The saw. That is. I do have a saw. This is a good idea.
No more saw. The saw.
You've never even heard the saw because it didn't work.
Oh, I heard the saw.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I heard it. I heard when it kind of worked for 5 minutes. Anywho, Halloween. It is my favorite season. I don't
Ukulele.
like ukulele. That's not. Maybe Halloween in Hawaii.
Mix it with a melodica and you got something.
Got what?
Something.
You scare me.
You're welcome.
So,
happy Halloween, everybody. Let us know what you are most excited about for Halloween. And yeah, we will definitely be filming as much of it as we possibly can. All right, let's move into movie news. We got our first Encanto trailer this last week, which I don't remember exactly when it came out, but I know it was since the last show, which is crazy. And what did you think of this new trailer?
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. It's colorful, it's lively. Like, we watched the trailer and I was like, I can't wait for this to come out.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like fun. I also love this version of like waiting for someone to uncover what their special talent is.
Yeah.
Or maybe just finding that they don't have one, and finding how to be special in a magical family. I think it's great. I'm very excited about the music.
It's like, I just want to hear more of the music.
Yeah, it all seemed very fun.
So we were talking, we watch these things before the show, and I was talking about how it reminded me of the music from the Party Gras parade. So Caitie got to see said Party Gras parade, which, if you want to see pictures of it, go back and look at 30 years ago at Disneyland that Doug Marsh writes for Daps Magic. But it is a fun parade. But I imagine them taking Encanto stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And you could totally make a parade or even throw it in like a future Magic Happens reincarnation or something. And like, I feel like it'd be really fun. Yeah. And I don't really know the characters well enough to be like, oh yeah, this would fit in.
Well, and that's kind of why I was saying we were talking about parades and we talked about Party Gras and we talked about Magic Happens. Even Soundsational. Anything that has those like bright, colorful energy, what have you. I think it would fit right in. So I'm super excited. I just finally, the secret sign of the armadillo. Thank you.
Doug would be very proud.
Yes. But yeah, I'm really excited. I hope we don't get more trailers. Like, I want to go in not knowing much of anything. I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, and there's quite a few months before it comes out, so I'm assuming since this was the first one, we're gonna get at least 2 more. But,
yeah.
I'm looking for. I'll watch them for you. You don't have to watch them, and actually you do, because we'll talk about them on the show probably. So
I know how Geeks Corner works.
But I think it's a 2 thumbs up movie. I think it's gonna be great when we get to see it, and I'm curious to see more of what the conflict is in it, and more of like who does what, because all we saw was a fun music, which was great.
Yeah.
Or fun song. All right, so let's move on to the next trailer that came out this week, which is Turning Red, which is directed by Domi Shi from Pixar, who you might know from the short Bao, which was one of my favorite Pixar shorts. Like, I just thought it was a brilliant and beautiful short. And immediately watching this, I thought of Bao just because of the nature of transformation, I guess you could say, and the mother connection. I felt like there was a little bit of a parallel there as well. But basically the premise of this is there's this young, I think she's 13-year-old girl that when she gets too excited turns into a red panda. Giant red panda.
A giant red panda.
And you see in this trailer,
she's big.
Big, yeah. What'd you think of it?
I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's really different. I mean, obviously Pixar always delivers on things that are very out of the box and they aren't going to be your traditional what have you. I think the trailer is so fascinating. Like, that plot alone, she gets too excited and turns into a giant red panda. Like, what?
With a big pink cloud of poof.
That's amazing.
And it looked like everybody could tell it happened too, which was, I was like, okay.
Yeah. So I'm very fascinated to know why her mother was there.
In
the school.
The official description, it talks about how she's protective and overbearing.
Yeah. To me, it kind of seemed like she's allowing her daughter to go to school. She knows about this turning into a panda thing, whatever. Yes. Okay. We need to talk about the fact that there was Backstreet Boys in this trailer, because that makes you larger than life. Like,
did you not know this? Oh, surprise.
My gosh. I hope it's in the movie somewhere.
I feel like there's a chance. I don't know.
But that's amazing. It was so good.
I just hope, to me, and it'll be okay if they do this, but I kind of hope that they don't, is I don't want it to be a thing at the end of the movie. It just turns out it's all her imagination.
Oh, I hope not.
Yeah, like, and hopefully, you know, that's not what's happened, and then I'll feel bad. But that would be one thing I hope they avoid. But it looks like it's going to be funny. It looks like it's going to make you cry. Like this one, to me, looks like it might be one of the more tearjerkers in recent. Like Luca was fun. In fact, it was charming. It was sweet. I loved it. Soul was deep. Didn't really make me cry. It was just really good. Like I didn't feel that. Onward, same thing, was a fun ride, but it wasn't something where it just like, you know, twist the knife, make you cry. This one I could see having that. That emotional connection. We will never forget about Mandolin, Mike. Don't worry.
Nothing will beat when we did the COVID mandolin, and I had to sit in my room and play the mandolin music in my head and send you a 2.5-minute track of me just saying mandolin.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
fun.
Great.
It was fun. The one thing I'm worried about with this movie is the release.
Okay.
It says it's being released on, I think, March 11th, 2022. It didn't say where.
I know.
And that, to me, like, Pixar movies look really good on the big screen.
Yeah.
And I hope that we're not getting into Pixar is a Disney Plus studio.
That would really make me sad.
I just feel like that's a disservice to the movies that they make. And like, I want to see Pixar movies on the big screen and not have to drive up to Hollywood to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that Pixar movies.
Like, can you imagine Luke on the big screen?
I really wish that
then you really would have been hungry.
Then I'd really be like, can I get some pasta, please?
But you know, like, I would have loved to seen Pixar on the big screen. I would have loved to seen Luca on the big screen. I would have loved to seen Soul on the big screen.
Yeah.
Like, Soul would have been gorgeous on the big screen.
For sure.
And yeah, so I'm hoping that this does come to theaters, but I did notice I've gotten other press releases recently, mainly from Marvel, that's like, this is coming to theaters on whatever date. And so, you know, maybe they're hedging their bets. I don't know. But I thought that was something that just, my eyebrow went up and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why isn't it saying theaters? And maybe it's a dual release. Maybe, I mean, because one of the lessons of this weekend is Black Widow did really well in the theaters. It was the biggest release in theaters since theaters have reopened. But it also did really well on Disney Plus. So maybe it's not actually taking away from the theaters to release at the same time on streaming. Yeah. And we just don't know yet. I don't know how I feel about that either. But we went into the theaters, even though we could have spent $30 and watched Black Widow here.
I like that we saw it in theaters.
Yeah, it was much better there. And reactions are better in theaters. Like, everything is just in your face. And yeah, it's a lot more fun. And there's popcorn and
you dropped on me.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's how it works.
We had a really fun movie experience.
We always have fun movie experiences. Yeah, so I don't know. I hope at the very least it's a dual release and not just a Disney Plus release. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, this weekend is Disneyland's 66th birthday, and we will be there to cover whatever happens, even if it's nothing. But we will get on the Jungle Cruise, and we'll make sure we stop by and go on Mickey's Philhar Magic, or go to Mickey's Philhar Magic and check that out and see what the new scene is like with Coco. So you'll be hearing our thoughts on both of those updated experiences next week. Supposedly there's going to be more added this weekend to Jungle Cruise.
Yes.
And we will probably live stream a couple times from there as well. We've got a lot on the docket for that. You won't want to miss it. So if you haven't done it already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now tell people what they should do now that I've messed up our ending.
Now that you've messed up our ending, well, as your official longest running Geeks Corner co-host,
as of today,
I'm really good at the ending. So you should go to dapsmagic.com, check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list so you don't miss a thing.
And you won't want to miss any of it. But that is all the time we have for you this week. So have a happy Disneyland birthday. Yep, that's what it is. Congratulations to Caitie. Make sure you let her know how happy you are for her in the comments, and share what your favorite Caitie moment on Geeks Corner was in the comments as well, because I'm sure there's a few of them. But as I said, that's all the time we have for this week. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.